middle of an ongoing war. We'd love to have the big guys join the fight.
Roll out! Wow, that was corny when I said it out loud. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
You've never faced anything like this.
Oh, God. It's about to go down. Oh, God. It's about to go down. Oh, God. It's about to go. It's about to go. It's about to go down. Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who gets one hoe? I'm the king. So everybody is a click strap and they all go. Keep it stick till I French poppy, but I ain't a troll. Everybody out here playing for no hoe. What up, dog?
If you keep your eyes open, life will show you everything you need to know.
Now that's top tier manifestation.
Commander on the banter, just one answer, I'm an animal. Gorillas in the trap with them.
We fighting this alone or we fighting it together?
Together.
Let's get it. Turn it up to the maximum, to the maximum, to the maximum.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, turn it up.
I'm never leaving Brooklyn again.
On my soul.
Well, I have to say that back in my day, I didn't have any of these newfangled robot beasts that would go around and do all of those sorts of things. No, I just had the plain things. I had the old black truck and the Volkswagen Beetle. And I didn't have any of these birdie flying things. I didn't have any of these Unicrons that came in and just decided to come through a portal. I just wanted to have good old-fashioned Transformers. And that's why I gave this movie 4.
Rolling in
Yes.
hard and grumpy like well,
Hard
not
and
hard,
grumpy,
but,
like a hard and grumpy bird. Hello. Hello. How we
welcome
going?
to the periodic table of awesome, everybody. How are we doing on this weird Thursday night? Oh,
It
I
is a
don't
weird
like it.
Thursday. It's going to
I'm
be...
just gonna take my submarine and I'm gonna go over here.
Oh.
Look, okay.
And what's more, if you make it
No,
fly
I'm
through
not
the
gonna
sky,
go.
it looks a bit like Skybite.
Oh,
Oh.
who's got a sub? I've got a sub as well. Because Luigi's the
Wow,
sub.
just make me feel like an asshole because mine's in the bottom of a box somewhere just off screen.
Just off screen. Just off screen.
Just
There you
off
go.
screen. I've
Hello.
got toys. I've got so many toys. I've got all the toys, and I'm repping my boy.
It's the shortest podcast of the year on the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. That's right. It's
I
gone.
like that.
It went dark early, and we're going to run through this one at warp fucking speed. So strap
Are we?
in.
Fuck you!
We're
This
gonna.
is you're in my world now.
Yeah, we're going to undercut all Quinny's plans. You had the T-shirt, you had the theme tune, you had
Oh,
everything.
look, I got
going.
the theme tune, sing the theme tune. I wrote fucking ticker things out the wazoo that Dion forgot to put in, so I'm
Yep.
just going to put them in the post.
Yeah.
It's all
Um,
happening.
Yes. Oh, speaking of that, just gonna fix that ticker text thing.
Oh,
that
why does
wasn't
it
in
say
the
the wrong thing
right
entirely?
space? Hey, no, it's fine. We know exactly what's going on here. We're very fine. Someone, please take
Is it
over
counting
from
down
me.
the level of oxygen? we're
Someone,
taking?
someone. So it's fine. It's fine. I fixed it. I fixed
Okay.
it. We've done that. No, and we did that earlier, Jill, in the chat that was off this, and we're not talking about that because we don't care
Okay.
about the subs.
No.
Yeah.
What,
No,
shut
no.
up. No, this is Twitch. We love the subs. All of your
Sorry.
subs. That's
Yes.
why we love Casper so much. She's like the
Subs.
submachine gun. That's where it's at. But anyway, what are we talking about?
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Yes.
But we aren't really, because we're kind of talking about Transformers robots in disguise, and then we're going to be also talking about the weird mash of what the fuck is Beast Wars. I was out of it by then. I'd moved on from Transformers. I don't know what the
No,
fuck.
that's when I got
Oh.
in. That's
I was
when I
gonna
got
say,
in.
yeah, okay.
That's the difference between generations right
Yes.
here. Literally
It's
generation.
literally
one.
like 5 years between us
I know.
guys, but yeah, generations.
Hence my old man
G1,
cardigan.
G2. You're just leaning in on your old man
Yes,
vibe.
my grumpy is like, I remember Unicron when he was voiced by that guy who was in the Rosebud movie. You know,
But-
Orson Welles.
The brain.
No, or was that Leonard Nimoy? I don't know. He was Spock. There's a lot
No,
of
that was Galvatron.
there was a lot
That
of
was much
space,
fucking cooler.
a lot of space going on around all there. And I remember Scourge when he wasn't a fuckhead.
Yeah.
And where
Scourge has always been a bit of a fuckhead.
and where the fuck is Cyclonus? He was supposed to be there too. Like what the fuck?
Yes. As were all of the sweeps, and yet we got a whole bunch of fucking scorpions. But anyway,
No, they're not even called scorpions. They're called some other thing.
Terracons.
Yeah,
They're all
Terracons.
Terracons. Yeah.
Oh, for
But
fuck's sake.
anyway. And Rob's right. We do need an entire Animaniacs episode to explain Beast Wars. But Jill, Beast Wars was your jam, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
your
I liked-
Transformers.
Well, I mean, I did grow up with original Transformers as well, but I quite enjoyed Beast Wars. That was when I was getting into watching boys' cartoons because they were much more fun than the girls' ones.
Nice. Well, I came to Beast Wars way late. Like, when it came out, I was like, no, I don't like it. It looks shit. Because traditional 2D animation kid, loved
Sure.
the
Yeah.
G1 Transformers, and then watched the movie, and then it went quiet for quite a few years, and then Beast Wars came out, and I was like, fuck that, looks like shit.
I think
And
that was the
then-
fascination for me. Was like, yeah, it was 3D animation, like at a time where it wasn't something that was done often.
It was
Yeah.
And yeah.
I remember that I did like the designs of some of the animals, and I wasn't quite getting around. Like I didn't pay attention. The thing I remember most about it is that all of the backgrounds were shit, like terribly
Yes.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Very low rendered.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
but also unlike the cartoon where they would put different, like it was all like you got to remember the cartoons, the backgrounds were incredibly low rendered too. There's just white panels and things, but they had color. In all of the Beast Wars backgrounds, I looked at it and went brown,
yes, brown,
brown,
green.
no
A lot of
trees,
brown.
brown, no
Or just
trees.
jungle.
Yeah. Casper makes a good point though. Like, if you are touching on Beast Wars, what are you doing without fucking Dinobot or Rat Trap?
Exactly. Dinobot was my favorite. He was like a mad. I'm not gonna Seabolt. But
Go
like,
on, he was a mad
he
cat. Fucking loved him.
Flip flop. He was like double agent. Friggin' loved
It's a
Dinobot.
fucking mad cat.
Also,
It should have been a kangaroo
Sil-
robot, and that one would have been a mad cat.
There was.
Oh, fuck.
Silverbolt was another favorite. I had the
Oh, yeah.
action figure for Silverbolt.
Silverbolt
and-
is a giant plane that looks like a what
Well,
was
in
the-
Beast Wars, Silverbolt was what, a fucking
A
half
wolf.
wolf, half eagle?
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
fucking sick. And
Yeah.
I also had Black Arachnia.
Ah, yes.
wasn't she a female Decepticon?
She
Yes.
was.
See, I do
Yes.
remember some bits and pieces.
She wasn't a
just-
Decepticon, she was a
She
Predacon.
was a Predacon, yeah.
Well,
So
what's the
I-
difference?
A big one. Massive
Okay.
difference.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so one of the things that about this film that kind of weirded me out, but also I found funny, was the way that it kind of assumed an amount of knowledge. And an amount of knowledge about Beast Wars, which is a pretty fucking obscure thing to know shit about. So the
Yeah.
movie starts with a character called Ape Link. So Ape Link is the single fucking deepest cut for nerds I've ever seen in a major feature film. Literally,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that
Ape Link?
Optimus Primal had a dad.
yeah. Optimus Primal Zaddy was okay. So the character of Ape Link is a toy that was released at BotCon.
Oh
So-
no!
So, like a collector
specialist
only
Transformer
specialist
convention.
fucking transformer that somebody's gone, oh, we need a big monkey that's bigger than Optimus Primal. Fuck it. Yeah, go with that. Yeah. And everybody who's the collectors are like, really? Like, that's a toy I spent $200 on 20 years ago. Cause I'm a collector. So yeah, fucking weird.
Okay, that's a good deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep as fuck. So yeah, the difference being that there's Decepticons, Autobots, and then the Maximals and the Predacons. And the whole thing being that the Maximals and the Predacons happen in a totally different period of time. Like, and
Right.
all of the Beast Wars shit is set in like prehistoric Earth period. And
No.
It's-
This was very much set in 1994.
yeah,
They go to great lengths to explain that this movie is set in 1994.
with a lot of music and a lot of
Yeah. Yes.
references.
And absolutely nothing that
that
would
was
make
fun.
you, by looking at it, go, that I remember distinctly from 1994. Nothing that they showed, I went, oh yeah, that definitely sets it in 1994.
I don't know, Anthony
Well, the
Ramos's
90s
hair.
are like still vague enough. You can like get away with it. But I think that was a particular choice so they could avoid all of the base stuff, I think.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
once again, this film sits and it annoys me because it wants to have its cake and fucking eat it too. Like,
Yeah. It's like,
we
how
could-
do we like do something in that universe but not pay any attention to anything that Michael Bay has done previously?
But at the same time, not discount it because we still kind of want to keep the fans from that shit. So even though this, Bumblebee could have been a very nice reboot for the whole fucking series, this one then kind of unreboots it and says, "Oh, maybe it could fucking link up. Oh, maybe, who knows?" And it's like, Lorenzo, shut the fuck up. Lorenzo being the producer who just apparently loves the Bay shit.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, here we are. How many fucking films in are we? 6?
Oh, fuck if I know.
They made
was-
5 Bay ones, then Bumblebee, so this would be 7.
Yeah, this would be the 7th film, yeah. What was the last Bay film you watched, Jill?
2. Dark Side of the Moon was coming out, and I'm like, nah, I don't think I can do it.
Oh, you
The
did
second
well.
one was such a mess, and like visually, I couldn't see what was happening in any battles. It was just like on the screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. So like the third one, I'm like, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I just remember when they did Devastator, who, you know, big fucking combiner robot, and everybody's super excited for it, and it was just a fucking CGI shitstorm, and I went,
Don't you remember that great thing where it was like, I'm standing directly below the robot's testicles?
Yeah.
Devastator.
yeah.
Devastating. Is that the
Yeah.
last? So is that the last one you watched? Jill, two.
Yeah, 2.
I am
was the
so
first two.
fucking proud of you.
And then Bumblebee. Because
Oh,
everyone
you-
was like, oh, Bumblebee's really good. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it.
And did you enjoy Bumblebee?
I did. I really liked it.
I fucking loved Bumblebee. And
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
a good
oh,
story. And it
this
was
is-
like, here's like how we make the Transformers and the humans work together well and not
Yeah.
just be a
And then-
subliminal part of the story.
And then they just did the same thing, but with a new human and a different robot because they couldn't use Bumblebee. But Bumblebee's also there. But then we also have to try and make this turn into something that will somehow resemble all the other shit that we've done, including the fact that these robots have been around for fucking thousands of years helping humans interact, yet no one's ever seen them. But then there's also a massive spoiler at the end, which is just like, what the fuck are you doing with all this? Stop making everything interlinked.
Look,
Yeah.
who knew I would ever enjoy a Pete Davidson character like I did with Mirage?
yeah, sorry. I would like to formally request that we change the name from Mirage to the person who sits upon my chest right now, Jazz,
No, no.
because
No,
clearly
he's already been established, Quinny. You can't reboot something that's already been established. Don't you know this? This isn't some Marvel movie. This isn't DC restructuring everything to fit a new narrative. This is Transformers, Quinny, and Hasbro has integrity.
also, the Porsche 911 is like my favorite model of car. So
yeah. I
Sure.
love the Porsche. I love the character. I love everything about Mirage, apart from the fact that he's got the wrong name. Like,
What do you mean? A sassy kind of blue robot that is able to do cool things and has great dialogue? That sounds exactly like Mirage. You know, the car that was just there to create duplicate cars of itself and had
yeah, that was
almost
kind
no
of his
dialogue
whole thing.
in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Mirage didn't exactly have a huge amount of character in the series. However, Jazz did. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but
Uh,
anyway,
yes.
we can't go.
We've kind of gone all deep into this before we've even fucking talked about it.
Sure, would you like to give
Oh
us
yes, give us
a
a synopsis,
Quinny?
please.
Would you like some thinking music while you get your synopsis ready?
Yeah, we don't
Uh,
have Karina here telling us what to do.
Yeah, no, she's not fucking keeping us on the thing. Now, what do we want the voice as?
Jazz.
Oh, no, fucking. Hey! Returning to the action and spectacle that have captured moviegoers around the world. Transformers Rise of the Beasts will take audiences on a 90s globe-tropping, hip-hopping adventure as Optimus Prime and the Autobots take on the biggest challenge yet. When a new threat capable of destroying the entire planet, emerges, then we must team up with a powerful faction of Transformers known as the Maximals to save Earth.
I'm gonna knock you out. What? I'm going to knock you out. I'm. Mother said knock you out.
Oh no,
exactly.
Rob wanted an Orson Welles. Oh, that's the exact opposite.
What do you mean?
I want a Danny Rojas.
What do you mean? What do you mean Transformers are that? What is Energon? What does Energon even mean?
Yeah.
Orson Welles.
In July, peas. Bro.
Yes.
What do you mean in July? If you want me to put more emphasis on Ian, I'll fillet you.
Sounds exactly like Unicron to me.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to hear some outtakes from that recording session of Orson Welles just going, "What the fuck is a Unicron?"
So Unicron.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple of picks to bone with this thing.
Do you now?
Not that it's bad. Like I can't actually honestly stand there and go, "This is a bad Transformers film." It was just a very fucking confusing Transformers film, mainly because it didn't know what kind of Transformers film it wanted to be. Did it want to be one of the old lot that everyone well established were a giant hunk of shit, or was it trying desperately to crawl its way towards the Bumblebee side of like, this was what could be things there? But also, I'm still really fucking confused and angry that they keep doing the dirty on Optimus.
See,
Like, I mean,
I agree with you, and it angers me that I do.
yeah, I know. I'm not the greatest for agreement around here.
No,
but I feel that they just keep doing Optimus the dirty. Like Optimus Prime is a bloodthirsty fuckhead through in all of these films, and I'm just like, come on, man, he's supposed to be a nice guy. He's just a poor dock worker who got caught up in a big war.
Yeah, and to an entire fucking generation of people, he was Robo Daddy. He was the person that we watched of a Saturday morning who did the right thing, who wouldn't, hurt somebody if it wasn't required, who was
Wait, are you not talking about
charge.
Are you not talking about Metal Mickey? Because he was Robo Daddy. Yeah, I know. That's
Boogie.
That's a deep cut.
It is. Fuck off. But yeah, like I agree, Dion. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure I enjoyed the film more than you did.
I enjoyed pieces of the film. I enjoyed some parts of it, and then I thought it was also very silly because it's a bit fucking dumb. Or it's a lot fucking dumb. And I love how they just throw a character in, the character shows up, it walks around for 3 seconds and then never does anything. Shout out to Johnny, well done, man.
Oh, speaking of characters who are done dirty.
Yeah. What was that fucking character?
So one of the characters who looks really cool is Stratosphere. The big plane that they get to South America in.
Right.
It's our boy John DiMaggio, who literally gets one line. And that's it. I was like, come on, that's a cool looking character. Give him more to do.
But like much like all the other characters, they just get moved on because, and I don't understand why they've finally got the note. Somehow it's gotten through all the production meetings. It's like, hey, maybe we should make these robots look more like the things that they transform from instead of just random things that can switch and move and turn into strange stuff. Like make Optimus look distinctive so that if there's a big battle scene, you can actually tell who the fuck is who.
Yeah.
And then they completely undid that because they went back to the other way for all the evil ones. The evil ones are just either replicants or copy, like Control-C, Control-V for all the minions.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even distinctive. Like, I mean, shiny colors, bright lights, easy shapes. That's how you need to communicate to
like,
us.
Transformers, guys, it's a cartoon. And what are cartoons full of? Color.
Yeah.
Why did we have a huge battle on a big grey block with like big grey blocks fighting other big grey blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's cheaper to do it that way. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. The more and more I think about the movie, the more and more I realize I don't like it. I mean, when I watched it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is mildly entertaining. The humans have got more to do in this. That's good. Like, why bother having them in there
Yeah.
if you're not going to do anything?
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's a Transformers movie. We're not seeing a lot of transformations.
No.
And
No.
we're not really seeing a lot of the characters. We just got a handful because it feels like they were too lazy to make more of them or do an actual story where like transforming was the whole reason why they're called Transformers.
Yeah.
I mean,
There are some characters who got like completely.
yeah, not like a huge spoiler alert or anything, but like the Maximals didn't actually transform into like the humanoid forms until the fight scene at the
One of
end.
them didn't do it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the bird.
yeah.
Yeah.
We never saw Airazor transform at all. And you're like,
She had a different kind of transformation.
well, yes. Yeah, true.
Just
true.
remember, though, Transformers is supposed to be about the lesson you learn as you transform from young child into early adult. And
Oh,
that's
so
why
it's a metaphor for puberty?
everyone connects to Bumblebee, because that's the young robot trying to find their way in the place of the Autobots, and that's why it kind of works. And what
You
I
know
love
what?
about
I was glad to see them fucking sideline him for a bit.
yeah,
like-
I was 100% happy to see him sidelined. Won't
I
do a
mean,
spoiler
how can you
section.
have like two competing characters like Mirage and Bumblebee
I mean,
in a whole movie where everybody else is dull?
I would have actually stood up and clapped in the theater had they changed it and not used Mirage and just used Cliff Jumper and just painted the Bumblebee model red and let him talk. I would have actually stood up and gone, yes, that's actually brilliant. That's exactly what it was, because I do remember that the sheer and utter disappointment of me getting a Cliff Jumper instead of a Bumblebee when my mum bought me a Transformer, and she goes, "It's your favorite," and I was like, "It's Cliff Jumper."
This is not Eine Bomber.
This is red one. Where's yellow one? Anyway,
Yes.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, look,
after that.
I mean, we can't have Cliff Jumper though, because in pretty much every incarnation, Cliff Jumper buys the farm real fucking quick.
Yeah.
It's in his name. But anyway,
Cliff Jumper without parachute.
yeah,
Cliff Jumper,
His full name.
Cliff Jumper, the suicidal Autobot.
yeah. And even when he was played by The Rock. So yeah, yes,
Fuck, I forgot
in
about that.
Transformers
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
There's so many bad things going on in this series.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, I agree. I think there are characters, like I like the character of Noah. I thought that he was an interesting, enough character to follow. I mean, probably could have had a little more backstory, perhaps.
I think there was enough, single mother working a job and he's trying to get work and his brother is sick. Like, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. I liked him. I mean, he wasn't as sort of engaging as Charlie in Bumblebee. Like, she had a lot more going on, but also you also have Noah and Brianna in this one. And so, yeah, they're
If
kind
you'd
of...
asked me, I wouldn't have been able to tell you her name.
I just had to look it up. That's why my face went all bright, because I was opening IMDb. Yeah, like I could see what they were trying to do with those characters of going, okay, here's a Latino character. Let's look at some of the problems and challenges that face him. He is a black person who, let's have a look at the challenges that face them.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have seen people going, oh, Transformers has gone woke. And I'm like,
oh, for fuck's
fuck.
sake.
You
Is
gotta
it
get- you
woke
gotta-
that
you
those
gotta-
people actually exist in real life? Like, fucking get off the grass. Go and touch
You've got to get off those websites, Quinny. I don't see any of that stuff, or if I do, I don't know. I managed to curate myself out of it of people complaining about movies, but then
complaining about children's animated films.
Yeah.
Like, grow up.
I mean, go and complain about
It's
something
fun.
worthwhile, like how bad the live-action Little Mermaid is.
Oh.
Still haven't watched it. I think I might just wait till it comes on streaming.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it either. Like, I
Anyway,
can't.
sidetracked.
Oh,
but-
yeah. Like those characters, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, fine. what I enjoyed was seeing the Transformers actually have more interactions amongst themselves.
Mhm.
Like this is the first time in many a movie where I saw two Transformers have a longer conversation than 3 lines. Whether it be Optimus Primal and Prime, or whether it be, you know, Mirage talking to any number of them a lot. You know, I felt like that was nice to see the characters actually developed somewhat. But
I love that it's the 7th
Yeah.
movie in, and you're like, thank God, finally they got some character development to talk to each other. And I'm like, yeah.
It's weird now that you like think about it because they're a team. And so like how come we never see any sort of conversations or any camaraderie or any like history that they've shared together? It's just like, here are the giant robots.
and that's the hangover from the Bayhem bullshit. Because like I remember going back and watching that first one in 2007 and being, oh yeah, fucking Transformers, yeah. Why do the characters never fucking talk to each other? Like there is literally one interaction between Starscream and Megatron, and then that's pretty much fucking it. The Transformers never talk to each other
Because they don't
And-
Because
care.
that's all they do in the cartoons though.
is talk to each other.
Is talk to each other.
Yeah, because
mean-
they've got fucking character. But
That would
crazy.
mean that they would actually have to go somewhat further than standing there and going, yeah, that looks cool. Now animate that and make that happen. You know,
Yeah.
But
This one, at least, you know, I do feel like there are moments where the characters talk, and there are moments like, you know, there are little throwaway lines like Prime telling Bumblebee, "You've got to stop going to that drive-in."
Yeah. But I mean, like, this is what I said. This had some good dialogue in it because, like, most of the Transformers films up till now are a great example of. Didn't I tell you this? I think I spoke to you, Quinny, the other day of then filmmaking, not Zen filmmaking.
yes.
Then filmmaking is like people can create a film or start writing a film, and they say the scene, like what happens in this scene, and then the connector between the two scenes is then. So if you say
Yeah.
then, there's no reason.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not because, it's not and therefore it's then. You know,
Then,
Optimus Prime shows up, then he goes and does this, then he does like this happens, and then this
And then they're in a desert.
Yeah.
And then, and like the latter ones of the Bay films become like utterly fucking like unwatchable because of that then thing.
yeah.
Like
Then they
you
go
know,
to Scotland.
They're in a
Then-
they're in a building. Then the building explodes. Then Cade is on a robot. Then he's in a field. And you're like, what? How the fuck did he get from the middle of a city to a field?
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter. Just
It does not
just
matter.
go with the next action sequence.
Yeah. It's just, and I mean, I'm still, you know, to be honest, I'm still kind of riding that glorious feeling that I had watching Bumblebee or watching in Bumblebee, that battle scene on Cybertron when they were all turning into weird things and they had their original forms and they were fighting each other and you got a sense of purpose about it. And I'm still sitting there going, that's what I want to see. I want to see that. Make more of that. And then when this film came out, I was like, wait, what? No, you knew exactly what you had to do. You just had to keep doing that. Why have you got this stuff coming? Beasts? Why beasts? Why Earth? What now? Show Cybertron. Send feet.
You want side smash?
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly it. And I miss it. Just get back to that one. Have some
Yeah.
dialogue. Make us fall
I
in
mean-
love with the characters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like essentially they are ciphers for explosions to happen. Like
Yeah.
and the annoying thing is I agree with you, Dee. Like this is a film of two halves. And one half is where they're trying to do characters that have meaning, that are mattering. So, you know, Noah and Brianna and their kind of social realism-y kind of stuff, the fact that the kids got sickle cell anemia, and they're trying to do that, and they're trying to build a relationship between him and Mirage, and that's all our film. But then it's like they went, fuck, Bumblebee didn't make as much money as the Bay films, so I think we need to have the Bay shit as well. And so you get to the big final battle sequence and it turns into that. and there's Optimus ripping heads off.
It was
And
really ugly too. It wasn't
yeah,
a fun battle.
no, and it could have been like if you've got fucking beasts, like you've got a Cheetor that can go super fast, and a motorbike, and a truck, and a fucking rhino, and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, okay, compare this fight scene in Transformers to something that was very visually similar in Avengers Endgame, where they're just
Yep.
fighting a horde of monsters, generic monsters.
Faceless
Control V,
monsters.
Control B.
And then, like, compare how those action sequences happened. You've got in Avengers, you've got each of these characters, they all have a special ability and they're all doing that and they're having cool moments, each one of them. And then this, you've just got just blah, 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 action in the background and then some humans trying to do another thing.
Yeah, like there are characters in there that I like. Rhinox, the big rhino. I don't remember a single word he said.
I don't think he had a line, to be honest. Fuck.
No.
I think that giant rhino is just in a lot of films that we've seen before, and that's just his gig. Like he was in that amazing Spider-Man movie number
No.
2.
He was
He's
in
in
Ace
this one. He's in Ace
Ventura.
Ventura.
Yeah.
Like, he's just that rhino that's in everything that you see. You know,
He got paid a lot of money for Ace
I was
Ventura.
gonna say you got danger pay for that one.
he suffered for his art. But yeah, look,
I wanted so much more, and there were so many times I thought, oh, I can see a film in there that's fun and cool.
Mm.
But and the thing that, as Casper said, oh Craven.
That's so Craven.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
so
We'll get to Craven. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
We'll do a double Morbius
Just do a
Craven
podcast
the
about
Hunter.
the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh
We'll do
Oof.
Morbius, Craven the Hunter, and what was the other one? Venom together.
Yeah,
just
Venom.
mash them
Carnage.
together. Venom and
Ugh.
Carnage. Right? But yeah, look, the part of this like stuff that just really threw me out of those things, which is one, we can't, like, as an audience, they can't connect to the human story that's going on because hey, we've got healthcare, so you know, we don't really connect with the
Wow.
fact that you just can't afford
Harsh.
to give your child, like, you can't afford to give your brother healthcare because it's too expensive, because you're a poor immigrant person, because you know we don't have a totally broken society just yet. And then
Give us time.
yeah, give us time. They're working on it. And then you've got, you know, your Bayformers bullshit, which is, oh, hi, I'm Unicron. I'm the big giant sky beam. Oh, thank God they've got back to the sky beams. Like, I was worried about that. They weren't going to giant sky beams. Thankfully, they explained it with, oh, only us Autobots and just like can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it. And I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough with the giant sky beam.
What I did love about that was I'm sure that I'm wondering what for the next film is going to be the next MacGuffin that is a piece of lore from the cartoon that looks absolutely nothing like what it's ever been shown as in any cartoon, is precisely the right size for a human being to hold it, and can be chased all around the planet looking for it.
I am dying for them to actually come up with an updated thing to tie everything together. And you have to get back Haley Seinfeld, and you have to get back so who is this character?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, well, yeah, get back Shia LaBeouf
And Marky Mark.
and Marky Mark, everyone all together, and they come
Oh.
all the way through, and then they show up in the next one with the other tie-in toy franchise, and that they should all be the commanders of the toy franchise that we will discuss in the spoilers just before, in case anyone hasn't seen it. Transformers Rise of the Beast, it's out now. Should we go to a clip after we rate it and then come back and talk about it
Yes.
spoilery? Because I haven't got anything else to say. I can't honestly say that people should go out and watch Rise of the Beast, because I watched it and I still don't know what fucking happened, and I don't know whether or not the beasts rose or not.
I can say as a Transformers fan, I enjoyed it and had moments where I was like, oh, that's a cool action beat and stuff like that. And I like that some characters got some character, but it's too Michael Bay and not enough Bumblebee.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do a quick rating. I gave it 55 out of 100 because I really had given up on the Transformers ones, but there was too much Bay. The 55 is purely for the Bumblebee style thing of recasting with Mirage, who was quite good, and the human actors who gave it their all, and every other, and RC. Like, out of all of these robots, I liked RC and Mirage, And
Yes.
Bumblebee was fine. And Optimus was, again, you're doing me dirty. I can't even name the two hench Decepticons or Terracons or whatever they all are. You know, who would know?
Nightbird and Rattletrap, but nobody gives a shit.
No.
Yeah, and also because they fucked up Scourge.
Yeah, and I hate to say, but Dinklebot still not good.
Scourge is a Transylvanian vampire robot. That's what Scourge is. Who
And the
turns
thing
into a
that
hover sub.
also annoyed me about the Scourge thing was that, like, there were all these ideas that you could see were being played with, that he was this thing that hunts down lots of people and stuff like that. And why does he have the mask? And, you know, why does he look like an evil version of Optimus Prime and all that kind of stuff? And then it's just like, no, he's just a bad guy. Whatever, we don't care.
Yeah. It's like, where did
Rip
Scourge
his
come
head
from?
off too.
Yeah. Scourge is controlled by Unicron. The end.
I'm giving it a 60. Because at the time, I do remember having fun and thinking it was all right. But now, giving it a little bit of breathing space and talking about it again, I'm like, yeah, no, well, it wasn't actually that memorable. And I wouldn't go and seek out watching it again. So it's just fine. If people want to, like, if people ask me, hey, was Transformers Rise of the Beasts okay? I'll say,
Yeah.
should I go and pay money for it at the cinema to watch it? I'm like, if you feel like it.
Yeah.
If you really want to see it, then do that.
Yeah.
I can't
If
encourage people to see it.
No.
I can just say, if you want to go. If not,
do Gold Class.
it can wait.
Maybe just Cheap Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah, go on a tight ass Tuesday, and you'll probably have a lot of fun. You know what it reminded me of? It sort of was a bit of one of those like direct to video kind of things, not in the quality or anything, but one of those films where you're like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, just fine.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. So I'm a 70 because I enjoyed it a little more than y'all.
yeah, you did. You were quite pumped after we saw it.
I had
Jazzed,
fun.
if I do.
Oh fuck! Get out! Get out!
I want to jazz there. Quinny, you got jazz all over you.
I'm jazzing all over the place. It's where
Jazz
do you
in
want
my
it?
hair and on my face.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's like I laughed and I had a bit of a good time and I enjoyed certain moments and there were great bits where characters did fun stuff, but at the same time, I found myself just going, "Fuck's sake!" Like Optimus is not a particularly difficult character to get right. You know, he's just a good
Easy
guy.
character to make him a dick, though.
Fucking oath. Apparently, like
He's a dick
and all
all
you
the
have to do-
time.
Sorry.
He's a dick all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a dick in the Bay movies, too. I never
Well, in the
liked
Bay
him.
movie, like, and what I actually felt was like, this is Lorenzo Di Bonaventura's desperate attempt to connect Bumblebee to the Bay films and to get from the Prime that we see in Bumblebee, who, you know, is pretty much right. You know, he does the right thing. He's a bit cool. And this is the one where he's getting darker and more fucking psychotic. And you start seeing him go, no, kill them, rip their fucking heads off. And you're like, back the fucking truck up. That is not the character that we want. So, yeah. But I really liked Mirage. I thought Mirage was a cool character, even though he was technically Jazz. And we haven't even mentioned Wheeljack.
Fuck.
Yeah. Look, I don't know Wheeljack, and I had fun with seeing new characters.
Yeah, but
So,
like,
I don't
it's
know.
not Wheeljack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you guys say, but who
It's not
cares?
Wheeljack, man. No Wheeljack.
Well, and the shitty part about that is, like, it's not Wheeljack, but also literally in the last film, Bumblebee, there was a Wheeljack and it was perfect.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Wheeljack
it
was
was
there.
legitimately the perfect version of Wheeljack. And
oops.
then one film later, they have just and what that annoys me about is that it's once again doing the Bay thing of going, what's a racial stereotype that we can play on? Like, and in this one they make a joke about it, like going, why do you have an accent? You know, what accent? And suddenly it becomes this really weird moment where you're like, so what? Hang on, is he a South American van? Why is he what?
Yeah.
But you know, if you go back to the pretty much all of the Michael Bay films, they're just fucking really broad racial stereotypes.
Sure. And why does a robot need glasses? Really?
So he can zoom in. I
Oh,
don't-
fuck. I don't know. Yeah. It's just like, nothing against what you got to do, but you didn't have to do much of those things. So it's like, hi, I'm this character. Ha ha ha. This is where I'm from. And
Mm.
all right, which clip would you like to go and see? Which clip shall we go and do?
I don't know. I feel like we've talked a bit about Mirage. I
Mirage
think
is
Mirage
meat at
is
the
probably
warehouse.
one of the better parts of the film. Otherwise, it's just two very grumpy Optimus Primes grumping at each other.
Fair enough. Mirage it is.
That felt good! I've been cooped up forever, dude. This is probably a lot for you, huh? Hey, whoa, I thought after the car chase we were boys.
What are you?
The name's Mirage. Come on, give me a little tap. Give me a little tap. There you go, now we're friends. Oh, great, the gang's here.
They're more like you?
You brought a human here?
I'm nobody. I ain't even seen nothing. I'm not even seeing anything right now.
There is a darkness coming.
If there's one thing about that clip that I love the most, it was Optimus's pectoral muscles having a little bit of a flex while he's doing the transformation, and they just got to go it's a little bit loads up his
a little bit
chest
of
to be cha-chung.
readjustment.
Yeah. Gotta do that one.
Because it's
problem.
Brotimus. Brotimus Prime.
Bro. He's got some
Yeah.
Optimus protein.
Oh, God.
All right, hang on.
Okay.
Where's the spoiler logo? I've got
Yeah, I was
going to
say, we're-
There's
we're
a
in spoiler
spoiler
territory.
logo. Spoiler time. All right.
So anyone who is still planning on seeing the film and wants to go completely spoiler free and everything, you should probably sort off now.
Yeah,
because it's
we
in
wanna-
the cinema
we
as
wanna-
of tonight.
we
So
wanna-
you could be going and watching it right now.
We want to drop the truth bomb. Are we going to get straight to the monkey? I mean,
Let's get to the fucking. Well, hang on.
Monkey
Which
in the
one?
room?
Ape Link or fucking?
no, let's get to the elephant in the room, or not so much the elephant. Let's get to the end of the film, which, funnily
Yeah.
enough, is at the trailer at the start of the film. Like it's in the trailer, and it's very strange.
Sort of.
Anyway, how do we all feel about the next film that's going to come up called Transformers versus G.I. Joe?
Look, I'm not an actual
I
fan
love
of
that, Jill.
G.I. Joe franchise films either.
Oh,
Did anybody see Snake Eyes when that came
it
out?
was
I
terrible.
did. It had a giant
It
snake
was
in it.
so bad.
It was
Aw.
amazing. He killed a giant snake, which is why he's called Snake Eyes.
Oh. Yeah,
It was awful.
I did say to Quinny after that end credit scene, I said, wouldn't it be cooler if it was Mask and not G.I. Joe?
I lost my shit at that concept. I was like, fuck yeah. If they'd just gone super deep cut and gone Mask,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
let's start the Hasbro cinematic universe. We've already had Joe's on film. Let's do
Yeah.
Mask.
yeah, that would have been amazing. Like if, there'd been, some evil thing called Venom, and then you've got the mobile armored strike command. And,
Yes.
Oh no.
And
It's,
Because it
Honestly-
would work, right? Transformers and cars and
Yeah, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Because
as-
you get the technology of the transforming stuff, you put it into cars, they turn into the transforming cars from Mask. Fucking this shit writes itself.
as Rob's
But
already
let's
pointed
not
out.
have it write itself, because that's AI, and that's what the writers are on
Yeah,
strike for.
yes.
Yeah.
As Rob rightly pointed out in the chat, there is like Mask is pretty much as Fast and Furious these days. Like,
Yeah.
like that's pretty much what that is. But yeah, like I would have. It was just a strange way of throwing in GI Joe, which is kind of like it does play together nicely, but they're going to have to do just such a massive retcon of stuff they already established, and this is why it was so many weird directorial choices in Rise of the Beast, because they were trying to mash Bumblebee and Bayformers together, and then what are they going to get? Like, are they going to get GI Joe Transformers?
And I mean, it does sort of make a bit of sense because in the last couple of years there have been a few GI Joe Transformer crossovers. So there's a Megatron that turns into a Hiss tank, and Bumblebee that turns into one of the mask something.
Yeah, but I
can't
mean,
remember
like,
what.
do you have to cross-pollinate franchises? Are they not allowed to breathe on their own?
No.
No.
It all must be the one universe, Dion. Everything
Yes,
one
okay,
till all are
okay.
one. Optimus Prime says it multiple times.
Yeah, for a moment there, I was very scared that they were going to do Sector 7 and fucking
Oh.
like John Turturro was going to turn up, and I was going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we don't need to go.
The guy
back to
the guy that got pissed on
please.
and who mentions the balls and then, you know, does all those stupid jokes. Sure.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Sector 7 it wasn't unnecessary. G.I. Joe, though, was kind of like, huh, okay. I don't know what you're going to do. Also, what happened to all the Maximals? Did they just fuck off back into the
Oh, no.
forest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
They've
like,
been confirmed as being, you know, whatever for the next film. So
yeah, where
they're
is
still there.
Where is everything at this stage? Like, I mean, is
No,
it past its
Predacanga is
future?
a universe I wish existed, but no, Hasbro and Mattel are two rival companies. Barbie,
Both alike
Barbie
in
will
dignity.
not. Barbie will not be appearing in.
Well, I mean, we
Transformers,
gotta
much
say,
to
we gotta
my
say how
dismay. Would
annoyed
have
you
loved
were.
to have seen the camper van transform.
I would have loved to have seen, or Barbie's pink vehicle show up and it be like
Yeah. The Corvette, the camper van, the horse
Yeah.
trailer, just.
yeah.
But then it could have
Hi,
become.
Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
And yeah, Rob's saying we didn't see John Cena, but he's clearly going to be Duke now. Surely he has to be Duke from G.I. Joe.
As long as he plays it like Peacemaker, I'm fine. I fucking love American freedom, and I will kill everyone because I'm G.I. Joe. Give me money, military-industrial complex. Make more people join the military.
Oh man,
yeah.
My guess is they're not even going to attempt to try and tie that into those G.I. Joe films that already exist because they were kind of a hot fucking mess.
Kind of.
Okay, well, they were a complete fucking hot mess. I mean, the second one was
gigantic fucking hot mess, but that's why we love them.
Yeah. The first one was just actually one thing I liked about the first one is that it actually felt like playing with G.I. Joes. You know, they put on their super suit things and then they just kind of go.
Yeah.
I was like, you actually captured the feeling there remarkably well.
Wasn't the first one great when didn't they take that big like lift down through the G.I. Joe lair and there was like a water level and stuff and I was like, that's perfect. That's how dumb G.I. Joe is. It's like, I just want to go in a room and there was a bunch of dudes training. Okay. But it was levels of and one of them was like a water one and there were people like,
and there were boats just
shooting at each other and I was just like, perfect. That's G.I. Joe.
It was fucking
G.I.
hilarious.
Great.
You know,
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
And wasn't the guy that took them down through that like Bruce Campbell?
No, I don't
feel
know.
like
One of those.
At the end of this Transformers movie.
No. In the G.I. Joe film.
I thought it was Bruce Willis. Isn't it Bruce Willis?
No.
Bruce
I'm
Willis
pretty
is
sure
the
it was Bruce
original
Campbell,
one.
but-
It was a Bruce.
Yeah. But yeah. Like I think it's a way for them to go, how do we inject some new fucking concepts into this thing? We are 7 films in. We don't know what the fuck to do with shit now. Like,
Just-
you know, we've
just-
tapped on Beast Wars.
Just
so-
watch DC. Hard reboot. Hard reboot, everyone. Wipe this tabula rasa. Wipe the slate clean. Start again.
Yeah.
Bring back
And the
Bumblebee
unfortunate-
that speaks.
But you can't reboot every film. Like every film
No.
can't be a reboot, is what I mean.
Yeah. And I feel like they had the opportunity to do
Jill,
that.
that's not
They-
very Hollywood thinking. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. You ain't
What
gonna
do
make
you
it.
mean we can't reboot every film?
You're not gonna make it in this town, honey.
Yeah, like they had the opportunity. They did Bumblebee. It was clearly a setup for a fucking reboot, and then they just didn't. And now I think
They
they've veered
rebooted it
away.
again.
Hey, we
Yeah.
paid all these people a lot of money for all of these character models that we have lying around, and we had thousands and thousands of people put thousands of man hours into making these things that don't look like anything. We need to
Do
use
the
them
DC
again.
thing and write it off its tax.
Oh, harsh, but fair. Actually, I had a concept for this, which is how you fix the Transformers universe. which it's in another podcast. It's in that
Which one?
podcast that it's called That Movie You Love, the sequel. And yeah, they said, okay, pitch us your idea for how do you fix Transformers. And my idea was real simple. It was you start the whole thing again, but you got a young girl whose name is Spike, and she's probably 10, something like that, real tomboy. And, her dad works on a gas thing and a gas mining thing or whatever it is. And there's a war in space and there's the Autobots and the Decepticons. And you basically go through the first part where they're all fighting each other and they crash land on Earth millions of years ago. But then while they're digging the gas pipeline, they unearth the Ark. But the Ark is about the size of an RV and it's in the backyard. And the scale is completely different. So the Transformers are actually about that high. And it's like small soldiers.
Yeah, for a second,
these
I was like, this is just small soldiers with extra steps.
Yeah, they did that movie.
I know, but it'd be fucking cool because they'd finally be in scale.
So really, it's just Quinny's play fantasy.
Yes.
Quinny wants a film accurate toy line. La da 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 logic gap. La da 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 logic gap.
No, it's totally fine. I logic bombed it all out. It totally makes sense. But I did think what would actually be really cool is the first time you actually see Megatron and he is a real handgun. And that's scary.
Like the one that transforms into the cassette.
Why would you, like, everything is the right size finally. It all makes sense. And it's fucking...
Yeah, but kids these days don't know what a cassette is.
Yeah.
Kids will be like, what's that?
But that's why you said it in the 80s. And it's fucking, it's, it's Stranger Things. It's fucking Small Soldiers. It's, all that stuff. So that's my pitch. How do you fix Transformers? You go back to fucking formula.
Back to formula? Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, you're not buying it.
You're not buying it? Jill, how would you fix Transformers? There we go. We're stealing the idea. First,
I would hire a better writing team.
All of the Transformers are pink and they live in Barbie's dream house.
Hi, Transformer. Hi, Transformer.
Hi, Megatron. Hi, Optimus.
I think I would make the Transformers story about the Transformers and like how they feel and what they like to do and what their favorite things are, and like get a little bit of I don't know, character into them. So
maybe
they're
announce
not just machines that yell at kids. How about we actually give them personalities that people might enjoy and say, oh, I like that Optimus Prime. He's such a nice guy and he's always trying to do the right thing instead of, I'm gonna fucking rip their heads off and do this. I'm like, Optimus, I always thought was like,
swear to me.
So why is he so fucking dark and gritty?
Yeah. I was the bit where he's like literally facing the guy with a gun and about to blow fucking Noah away because they're having a disagreement. And you're like,
how
what?
about the Transformers don't just spout one-liners for a whole movie and have a conversation?
Oh, you're crazy.
This is why Perceptor never worked in the Bayformers world. Perceptor was the scientist with the he transformed into a giant microscope. I liked Perceptor.
Yes.
Also a bit of a tough.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also liked all the weird fucking Transformers like Cosmos,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He blended in real well.
It's a UFO.
Mike, fuck, you've got one right there. Of course you
Yes.
do. Of course you do. Okay, quick pitch for me. How would I fix Transformers? I would take it back to the start, just wipe everything, like tabula rasa back and come out with an announced trilogy straight away. We're making 3 films. The first film, 100% set on Cybertron, establishes why the Decepticons and the Autobots are fighting. And the very last thing is the fight off flying away, and then the second one is all about them crash landing on Earth and how do they wake up, and then the last one is pretty much how they got off and they go back and restart their society and go back to Cybertron and figure out what it is. So humans in it are only in it for the second one, and maybe they take
stop making these movies from the perspective of humans and start making it from the perspective of the Transformers.
And maybe they take a couple of pet humans with them back to Cybertron in the third film. So that human is just having their mind fucking blown like, this is just weeding me the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then they have to go back and go to Earth and everyone's like, this person's crazy.
How do they breathe on Cybertron?
How do they breed?
How do breathe?
humans?
Oh.
Breathe.
Breed.
Yeah.
They don't have to. They're robots, Jill.
Because all the images I remember of Cybertron was like there's no atmosphere.
No.
No, they're all alone, more or less.
I'll let you fly far away from here.
Yeah.
How did Transformers eat?
They have energon.
Energon.
See, that's the other thing that I feel like we're missing.
Why?
Giant purple fucking energon cubes that
Exactly.
they drink out of.
Exactly.
Right. And then so do they breathe?
It's a mild, like also Energon is a
know.
mild, is it a stimulant or is it a depressant? Like Energon is, Energon in the cartoons
Is it high?
is robots would drink it to function, but then also stumble around being Energon high after a while. Like the Decepticons would chug Energon and then fall over. And I was like, really? Okay. Is that what, yeah, I see. Like, everyone has to get the Energon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The only thing I want, I just desperately want a Transformers film that doesn't feel the need to explain the Romeo and Juliet laws of Arkansas. So,
Yeah.
Jill, you're lucky. I think it's the
Arkansas?
fourth or fifth film.
Oh, good.
The first
No,
one
it's
with
gonna be
Marky
like the-
Mark.
well into where I gave up.
Oh yeah. There's a character who shows up who is 20 something who's been dating a 17-year-old. And it's the daughter of Marky Mark. And when fronted on it,
Which one of them was 17?
the daughter,
The girl who was 17 was dating a 20-something
yeah,
male.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when fronted on it, he pulls out a card that has the Romeo and Juliet laws written on it. That somebody in the production department decided, okay, this is the thing that we need to explain why the 20-something-year-old can be banging the 17-year-old. And it's the most fucking revolting part of any film I've ever seen.
This is the problem with Michael Bay because he just made these movies as like the most weirdest fetish films for himself.
Yep. Yeah.
But then again,
There's a discussion happening on Twitter and some of the people who love action films that are trying to recontextualize the Michael Bay films as being these great campy fucking like over the top films of just aren't they amazing because they're so over the top and they're self-aware and knowing and campy, and I'm like, no.
They are not self-aware. They are very dead serious in what they believe they're portraying.
Yeah. And they are this fucking awful militaristic, porn.
That yes, and highly misogynistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
the only one,
And I
the
get
only,
so angry.
the
at
only
that
one I can
idea.
defend is Pain and Gain. Because that was a surprising Michael Bay film where you're like, oh, wait, this is a satire. They have to know what they're doing because they're actually making jokes about how stupid it is and all the people are playing it straight, even though it's ridiculous. So yeah, but everything else that he does is just very weirdly terrible.
Yeah. And they get cruel and vile and horrible and they stop. I think they start assuming that the audience doesn't give a fuck about narrative. Like it's just like, oh, you just want to get to the next scene where something blows up. So
yeah,
cool. Here's a car chase.
Yeah.
Here's a character. We're introducing the character. Look up her skirt.
Hot-
Okay.
hot
She's
girl,
gone now.
hot girl, product shot. Join
Yeah.
the Navy. Hot girl, product shot. Join the Navy. Hot girl, product shot. Join the Navy. The,
Car.
when like I was noticing that word just earlier when I was perusing the information about the rise of the beasts. One of the things that is constant with these Transformers films is whenever they're putting in the cast, like the characters, and in the list of Transformers, if you look at any of those things, it explicitly says this is the character name, this is who they're voiced by, and this is the exact product that this is. Like they go into
right.
it's like the name of the character is secondary kind of to the name of the description of what it is.
The
you know,
Bumblebee, who is a 2000
yeah,
and something
who's a
Camaro.
2006 Camaro with blah 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 blah, and has all of this. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's no one cares that they're a car.
No.
What does the character do? What's their motivation?
Yeah. Fuck that. No.
No.
We need to make sure that we're selling something. Always be selling, always
No.
be fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, look, Michael Bay might come back with his Milton Bradley universe and do a sequel to Battleship.
It's
and
called The Game
maybe
of Life.
Yahtzee or Connect
Fuck.
Four.
One of the characters is called Yahtzee. One of the other characters is called Connect Four, and they're playing.
Yes.
They're playing the Game of Life.
Oh,
There you go. That's
Oh,
it.
amazing.
Yes, the Milton Bradley universe. Until they realize that all of their strings are being controlled by Monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, who made Monopoly? Is that a Milton Bradley game?
Parker Brothers.
Oh.
They're the big bads of this universe, the Parker brothers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mousetrap. Mousetrap. I fucking love Mousetrap.
There's already a film called that, but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember fucking Battleship? Do you remember?
I remember
that?
Rihanna was in it, but I never watched it.
Did you ever watch it, D?
What do you define watch?
Well,
Like, did I
you have it on?
did I abjectly have it on in the background while I was literally doing other things and just needed some sound and motion to fill the empty house that I was in? Yes, I did. Could I tell
Yeah.
you anything about it? I was like, no, but Gambit was in it.
Oh.
John Carter of Mars, whatever his
Yeah, the
name
John
is.
Carter guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And John Carter, by the way, if you go back and watch John Carter, it's actually not a bad film. I don't understand why it flopped so hard. I mean, I do understand why it flopped so hard, but it's not a terrible film. It's at least got some good ideas that we hadn't seen for a while.
Yes. What if you do want to see the absolute fucking nadir of filmmaking? Go and seek out that one we were literally just talking about. Fucking Battleship. It's like it has kind of jumping ships and
Yeah, it's
there's
real,
like
real
aliens
dumb,
and it's
But
and
wait, do they jump sharks?
only if the sharks are actually in the ocean and they're jumping. I mean, look,
yeah,
you know,
probably.
Battleship
Yeah.
is actually better than Pixels.
Oh fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I have shit better than Pixels though. So
I mean, I'd still
Um,
go out. Look, if you want to go watch a movie based on a board game, go watch Clue. It's not bad,
yes.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, it's clever, it's entertaining.
Um,
And just to point out that the first G.I. Joe film was actually called Rise of Cobra. So we've been rising for a while.
yeah. Rise of the
Like
Beast.
how to write a film title.
Yeah, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is one of those ones where you're like, I think there's too many words in this.
Hey, you leave those Planet of the Apes movies alone. They're good.
Oh no, I like them, but Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a
Ape.
fucking mouthful.
Apes together strong.
Actually, one thing that I did forget to say, and this is just one for all of the hardcore Transformers fans, one thing that I enjoyed was Noah getting his big power suit.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that.
Hints, like, I mean, I get it because they did it in the Transformers movie where they gave not Spike, they gave Spike's son,
Daniel?
Daniel, the bike that became his power armor kind of thing. But it was just fucking Iron Man. Like, I will say that from, like, you know, that's just bullshit. Does Mirage live? Is he still in that suit?
Yes,
Ah,
kinda.
I mean,
But
It was Iron Man with hints of Mega Man.
it had hints of Mega Man, but the thing I enjoyed about it is that it was a reference to a pretty fucking one of the weird parts of G1 toys, the Pretenders, where there were these shells that look like humans,
yeah,
and then you crack open the shells and there was a little transformer inside.
yeah.
And so this was kind of the exact opposite of that. But the design was clearly meant to be a Pretender shell. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Pretenders were the dumbest fucking toys, but
Oh, they were, totally.
But in defense of Pretenders, they had some of the coolest writing in the comic books because the comic writers could do weird shit.
Simon Furman.
Yeah, exactly. The comic writers could do weird shit with them because it was humans that had robots inside them. So
Yeah.
it was just like, what is going on? Remember, there was a whole Ahab one, which was trying to like hunt a techno whale on a weird planet, and I was like, I'm down for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing. Transformers has got this fucking amazing history of weird shit.
Fucking oath it does.
Like, you know, there's an episode of the cartoon where Sea Spray, the fucking hovercraft character, falls in love with the mermaid, and she's like all into him and stuff like that. And
That's cool.
And it's so totally goofy. And you know, like, it was an 80s cartoon. They were just going for what's the dumbest shit that we can do this week. And you know, looking at J. Michael Straczynski, who did a lot of writing in the 80s for cartoons, and going, John, what do you got?
Yeah.
He's like, how much coke have I got?
I mean, I wanted to be super brave. Like, I want to go back to the Transformers comics and stuff, because they had some of the most horrific and best shit that I've ever read in Transformers comics in that side. Like, remember that one, Quinny, where they where Ratchet had like sacrificed himself to fall through a portal with Megatron, and he didn't actually die. Just Megatron and Ratchet had fused together at like a molecular level, and this horrific beast.
Yeah.
I know. Like, Jill's like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they took two robots and they fused them together in a really weird way. And the only way to save them, they couldn't save one or the other. They had to save them both at the same time. And then they were kind of always linked in a weird way. It's great.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I mean-
I remember the cover to that comic.
Yeah, it's not.
Because it's
not
just two of
pleasant.
them screaming.
Yeah.
In, like, in agony, and you're like, oh, that's fucked
They
up.
knew they were getting cancelled by then. They were getting wrapped up
Yeah.
at issue 100. So they were like, yeah, whatever. We're just going to write this shit.
Wind it up, everybody. Let's go.
Let's do a horrifying one.
Yeah.
Speaking of winding it up,
Yes, we should
Yes.
probably
Yes.
do that.
I need some time to disassociate before bed, so
Disassociate. Excellent.
it's just one of those weeks. you know.
Jill's can have a little dissociation.
As am I. I fully look forward to.
Yes, thanks for joining us on this weird Thursday. We'll get back to regularly scheduled Tuesdays very soon next week.
Next week.
Next week, isn't it? What are we doing next week?
Indiana Jones!
Bite my ball sack, you Nazis. I'm Indiana motherfucking Jones.
Yeah. You know, actually, like,
Dion looks a little bit more like Dick Tracy than Indiana.
He did, yeah. I feel like we need to get in and scrunch
I
that
think
shit
it's
up a
the
bit.
size of the hat.
Yeah, it's-
Unfortunately, I think it's a children's toy rather than an actual adult's hat.
one size fits.
Some. But
Or
also, you've been
whatever.
too kind to it, Dion.
I know.
Too kind.
Look, it's my special hat. And only 3,000 other people got them at that screen. It was quite funny watching everyone come out. Like, if you got there and there was these hats floating around, everyone's like, "Where'd you get the fucking hat? Like, how do we get a hat?" And it's like, "Oh no, we wouldn't get a hat. No one's going to get a hat like that." And they're like, "No, everyone gets a hat." I'm like, yes,
Fuck yeah.
put us in a good mood to watch the film.
Whereas the press screening that Jill and I went to, we were lucky to get water.
It was like a womp womp.
Oh, womp womp womp.
Yeah. Quinny actually had to ask someone if it was on because
Yep.
there was nobody there.
Yep. I had to walk up to the manager of the cinema and I'm like, is there a like a preview screening of Indiana Jones on tonight? He's like, yep.
And he spat on you and then went,
I was
"Get
like-
over there."
Where? Oh, it's just down the end. Just go in. I was like,
And you're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh, a quick. Is it worth going and seeing Indiana Jones? I have to say that, like, without going, we'll do the full review next week. But it's not as bad as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So that's
Look,
the.
I don't remember that one being bad, but again, I only watched it once.
There was a scene.
And not at the cinema. Just
Yeah.
like,
Remember,
oh, that's on TV.
Don't forget,
now.
like,
Yeah,
Shia
watch it."
LaBeouf holding on to a rope that, for some reason, Tarzaning across strings and then getting whacked in the balls.
As I was telling you, Jill.
It's like,
Oh. Look, the only thing I didn't enjoy about it was aliens. And Queen knows all about I don't like aliens in a particular way in a movie. So,
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
was one of them.
Jill just was going off on her. She hates illegal aliens. She's
Oh,
just totally
no.
against.
oh, what?
Not what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah.
this one's got another far-fetched element that we'll talk about on Tuesday.
Yeah.
My word.
My word. Yeah, we'll talk about that next. Just have a good weekend. Go and-
I would say if you got the opportunity and you love the other Indiana Jones films, it'll be fun to see in a cinema.
yeah, I'm gonna say, like, go on, do it. Go back there and have a little bit of that old nostalgia.
My phone was buzzing in the movie and I didn't pick it up once.
Well done.
Yeah.
And then you
Because
found
that's
out.
how much I was enjoying the movie.
And then you found out, your apartment had burned down. So donate now
Yeah,
to
my
our
dog died.
Ko-Fi.
I don't have a dog, so that was weird.
Thanks,
Anyway.
thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for sticking around on a Thursday. Happy
Yeah,
Winter
thanks for
Solstice.
coming on a Thursday.
And we'll see
Surprised
you.
we had people in the chat.
And we'll see you on Tuesday. God, that's not a lot of time to turn around. I've got to do all these things. I only just got around clipping all these Transformers. Now I've got to go and find pictures of fucking Indiana Jones.
Podcast is life.
Podcast is life. All right, we're out there.
Not my wheeljack.
Fuck. Okay.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. But martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're right up cheeky now. Say Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, trendy bars would be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run for Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the savage land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest team. I wanna tuck my kids inside and read them stories of superhuman glory while the sleepy faces beam. Wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. But martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're right up cheeky now. Say Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours.